What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Madden 12 Denver Broncos franchise. And we are entering year 5 now, the offseason, after winning the Super Bowl over the St. Louis Rams 35-29. Normally for the offseason I would do a live comm, which is what I did, but then I had microphone issues like I had in the Tom Brady video. I had that throughout this whole thing, so to avoid that again, because that just was pretty ugly, decided to do a post comm like I do with my normal videos. So hopefully everyone's alright with that and whatnot, and let's jump into the off season now. Looking at retired players, we lose Jeff Saturday, Julian Peterson, and Davis there at right guard. So 2 hits at our offensive line there, 2 starters. Peterson, that's not as big as a loss because he was just backing up Von Miller at linebacker, but those 2 losses on the offensive line are definitely going to hurt. Mike Upati, the left guard on the Niners, he's retiring due to a season, or more than a season, a career-ending injury. Ed Reed, he's going to retire as a Baltimore Raven at the age of 36. And then Steve Smith is retiring with the Seahawks, also at the age of 36. Resigning players here. We got a bunch of players here to resign. Our main priority is going to be Tim Tebow, of course. He won a Super Bowl. He came second in MVP voting. And he actually wasn't demanding a ton of money like I was expecting him to. So we will happily re-sign him. Raheem Moore had an amazing season. So we are definitely going to throw a lot of that money at him. And we're going to keep him around. Dwayne Robertson coming off his rookie contract now. He's our top cornerback. I absolutely love this dude when he's on the field. The problem is he's been dealing with injuries, but we're still going to re-sign him. Jalen Waters, a breakout player this season too. He spent 1 year with the Rams after being a first-round pick for them, and then they cut him. But now we brought him in on a 1-year deal, and we're going to be re-signing him there now. Quan Sherman, he's actually asking for quite a bit of money, and I was trying to work out a deal with him, but he was asking for starter money essentially, and I didn't want to give him starter money because we got no Sean Marino, so I offered him a couple deals, but ultimately he would reject all of them. Demaryius Thomas, he's like the perfect number 2 receiver, I think, on our team. He's a great number 2 option to have there. Of course, we're going to have J.J. Woodson returning from injury for year 5 here, and I'd love to keep him with Demaryius Thomas and then put Leighton Manning in the slot. If our receiving core can be healthy, it can be really good. Jason Hunter, I think he led our team with sacks. I think he had about 11 this past year, so I am happily going to bring him back. Anthony Armstrong, he did a great job stepping up in the absence of J.J. Woodson, blanking on his name there. But he did good. We're going to bring him back, and we're also going to bring back Colquitt, our punter. Here I try one last time on Quan Sherman, but he wants to go be a starter somewhere else, so we're going to let him go. Here comes free agency frenzy. We only put bids on 4 players. We got Brandon Moore at right guard. We put a bid on a left guard and a cornerback, but we lost both of them. And then to replace Quan Sherman, we bring in Marshawn Lynch. The Chargers and Cowboys getting some nice players there. We attempted to bid on, but they were pretty expensive, although we do have a fair amount of cap. Looking where a lot of the other free agents went, Matthew Stafford, the former Lion, of course, he's going to the Jets after they only had 1 year with Tony Romo and then just let him go. And then Michael Vick going from the Eagles to the Cowboys. Pretty interesting there. Of course, Tony Romo, like I said, he's a free agent. Colin Kaepernick is a free agent. What else is new? Carson Palmer, he's a free agent after spending last year with the Bengals. D'Angelo Williams, the former Carolina Panther, goes to the Giants, and then the Panthers replace him with Lofton. And then Quan Sherman going to the Bills. So currently now he's projected to be their starting running back, and they're getting a good one in that if they stick with him. Got some fullback signing here, not very special or anything. But we are looking at Spencer Larson, who we did let go of, and he did not get a deal. So maybe we'll bring him back. The Seahawks are getting Wes Welker. Vincent Jackson, he's going to the 49ers. San Antonio Holmes to the Panthers. And Quan Bolden to the Chargers. And they also get Mike Williams and Brandon Lloyd. So they're really beefing up their receiving core there. Of course, Brandon Lloyd, he played for us for a few years. We traded him to Buffalo. He spent last year with the Saints after 2 years in Buffalo. He's been doing pretty good. He just wasn't really what I wanted in his 3 years with us. Only 1 year when I was controlling the franchise and whatnot. I think we might have traded him in the middle of year 2, if I remember correctly. So he's been a year and a half while I was in control. And then Emmanuel Sanders goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then here I also check out Devin Hester. He does have 94 speed, so maybe that'll be an option later if we need some more speed or a receiver goes down. Chris Cooley, he's going to the Browns, and then Miller going to the Panthers. Jason Peters, he's heading to Kansas City. Looking at some left guards here. It's a position of need for us, but there wasn't really anyone that I wanted. And I feel like there's a shortage of them in the NFL just because of so many of them got bid on, even though they were lower overalls. We did get a right guard, though. Not as many right guards went on the market here. We're looking at right tackle. 2 of them got bid on going to the Chiefs and Eagles. Looking at defense, Jason Babin, he was the top-rated free agent at an 87 overall. He's going to the Dallas Cowboys. Looking at right end, John Abraham. The Falcons let him go, but then they decided they wanted to keep him actually, so he's going to be sticking in ATL. And then they also bring in Justin Smith at right end, so they're doubling down on that. And so is New York, as they signed 2 right ends. And then Kansas City also got one there. At defensive tackle, the Cowboys beefing up that line there. At left outside linebacker, Aaron Curry, he's headed to the Seattle Seahawks, or rather staying with the Seattle Seahawks. Manny Lawson, the former Niners, is going to become a Saint. Nick Barnett, the former Green Bay Packer, he's going to be in the division now with the San Diego Chargers. AJ Hawk, another former Packer linebacker, he's going to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Looking at right outside linebacker now, Panthers are getting some linebackers, so are the Raiders. Gilchrist, he's leaving the division. He was with the Chargers before. He's headed to the Falcons, but the Chargers, they're getting this guy here to replace him, McKevin, Kyle Wilson, and then Patrick Robertson. So cornerbacks all going to Atlanta and San Diego. Chris Harris, he's going to the Cowboys, and the Cowboys also getting the top-rated strong safety, so they're doubling down on safety. Looking at kickers, not a whole lot. Something I did find interesting, though, is Seabass is going to be returning to Oakland after 3 years away. So here we are heading into the NFL Draft. And the first overall pick is going to be traded away. The Bengals got it, and they're going to be trading it to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a first and second round pick. We didn't have anyone that we wanted to pick at the number 32 spot in the first round, so we end up trading with the Philadelphia Eagles for our second and a fourth, I believe. And then the Eagles immediately traded away to the Bears. So we could have got more from it probably, but we got 2 picks out of that one, I guess. It was a late, very late first rounder. It's the latest you can get in the first round. Looking at the draft, we're going to get this left guard here, Hill. In the second round, our other second round pick, we're going to get Brendan Ryan at center. Even though he's projected to be a 4th round pick, I really liked him. We scouted him and whatnot. And he's going to be a Denver Bronco. Deshaun Campbell was another guy who really impressed me when I scouted him and whatnot. We are going to be doubling down at left guard, but maybe we can do some shuffling around on the offensive line. In the 4th round here, we're going to get Edwards at cornerback. And then once again, another 4th round pick. We're going to get Dane Cobbs for some tight end depth. In the 5th round, we're going to get Phillips at free safety. More depth. We're at the point of the draft where you just look for depth here. The last pick in the 6th round, we're going to get Richmond at middle linebacker. And then Mr. Irrelevant is going to be Colby Fitzgerald at left end. Here's a look at our rookie overalls, or at least some of their potential overalls there. It's kind of annoying. You can't really show them all on one screen, so maybe in a later video when they actually show their actual overalls. We signed a guy there in free agency, and then we're trading Jason Brown, our center, to the Giants for cornerback depth. Jason Brown, he's been moved around the offensive line a lot, but for someone who's not necessarily playing great, he's earning quite a bit of money. New York, they have a need at center. At fullback, we're not going to bring back our other guy. We're going to bring in Chris Gronkowski. And then Todd Heap, we're going to bring him in to be our second string tight end. Looking at the depth chart now, this is not quite what it is officially going to be, but it's essentially it. We got Tim Tebow and Vince Young. No Sean Marino, Marshawn Lynch, and now Tajay Sanders at the 3rd string there at running back. And then taking a look at Quan Sherman with the Bills decided to draft a running back who is now a higher overall, so that's kind of tough for Quan Sherman, going from one backup role to another. At fullback, we got little Chris Gronkowski there. At wide receiver, J.J. Woodson, he's still going to be our number 1. He did regress a lot, so I guess that's because of his injury, and he only put up 200 yards and 1 touchdown because he was hurt for most of the season. Demarius Thomas at number 2, Leighton Manning at number 3, and Anthony Armstrong. And later on, I don't show this, but we do have signed former Browns wide receiver Mohamed Massaquoi. At tight end, we got Julius Thomas, Todd Heap, and then Dane Cobbs is going to be our 3rd string tight end. At left tackle, Ryan Cladley is going to be starting, although he's been hit or miss really this series. Take a look at the sacks he gave up. He gave up 14 last year, so he might be someone that we're looking to maybe trade in the middle of the season potentially. I don't know. It depends how he plays this year. The right guard, Brandon Moore, for whatever reason, he's starting there at left guard. Then the rookie Ryan, he's going to be starting for now at center, even though he's a much lower overall than Saunders behind him. But we're gonna let him play, and then if he struggles, we'll put in Saunders because he is a much higher overall. But I was looking at their blocking stats, and they're actually fairly similar, so I'm not exactly sure why Ryan is so much lower of an overall. It might be his awareness. I didn't check that. But yeah, he's going to be starting at center. At right guard, we got the rookie Deshaun Campbell, and then Hill right behind him. 2 rookies there. Possibly interchangeable, possibly moving around the offensive line if they're both good. We got Sullivan at right tackle. Jason Hunter, of course, at left end. He is 32 years old, but hopefully he can still have a good season. Dumerville, he's 31. He hasn't been as much of a standout, even though he's much higher overall throughout this series. We got Seymour Gibson, Jenkins, and Davis at defensive tackle. Left outside linebacker, DJ Williams. We got Joe Mays at middle linebacker. And I will be signing another guy I forgot to record signing, was Paul Puzzlesny. He's going to be backing up Joe Mays. Dwayne Robertson and then McDowell are our starting cornerbacks. McDowell's actually a higher overall, which I did not realize until this, but he's going to be sticking there at our number 2 cornerback position. Raheem Moore, he's starting at free safety, and then at strong safety, Jalen Waters. And then behind him, the second-year player now, Harlos Benjamin. We still got Matt Prater, and of course there we brought back Britton Colquitt. And week 1, we're going to be traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. So the best team in the NFL playing the worst team in the NFL. That should be an interesting one. Should be a victory for us, but hey, any given Sunday, can't take anything for granted. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. This has been Jeffrey. Goodbye.